Hello and welcome to Loch Ness Knitting, and this is day 5 of Shop Talk, and today I'm going to be talking about my knitting kits. So I'm Dwinwyn, the owner of Loch Ness Knitting. Thank you for checking in today with us. If you enjoyed this video and you'd like to look at some of the other videos that we've made, you can look at our YouTube channel that's called Loch Ness Living. So today we'll be talking about kits. Okay, during the summer we get lots of visitors here to Loch Ness, and I tend to have kind of two types of customer. I've got one type which is the customer that has researched and planned their knitting journey and adventure far in advance. They're emailing me quite far in advance of their visit and saying, I am coming to you, I am really excited, and I'm going to need 5 balls of DK in 3 different colours, and these are the colours that I like. They're super prepared, and we really just enjoy the conversations that we have in the run up to the visit. And then I get another type of customer, which is maybe somebody who's passing through the area. They're looking around for things that are being made in the Loch Ness area, you know, authentic crafts and makers. And I pop up on something like their Instagram search, and they're like, oh, we'll go and have a look, that sounds interesting. You know, maybe sustainability sounds interesting, or just something being made locally sound interesting. They're not necessarily really experienced knitters. Some people haven't knitted at all. Some people were maybe taught as a child and trying to remember, and some people are just starting in that second group. And so these kits that we sell are created with that group of people in mind, although experienced knitters do enjoy them hugely because you don't have to do any maths, you don't have to do any yarn calculations, we've done all the work for you. And so the first kit I'm going to talk about is a kit that I've designed. So this is my Jolly Narwhal hat pattern. So the pattern is available on Ravelry in an Aran weight and in a chunky weight, and the kit is in the chunky weight yarn. Okay, so in this kit you'll get 1 skein of chunky merino yarn, you'll get the pattern, and you get the needles, and you get a wee bag to keep it all in. This is £17 for the Jolly Narwhal hat knitting kit. It's really quick knit because you're working with this chunky yarn, so it's a couple of hours worth of knitting, a really good movie or a good Netflix binge session. Chunky yarn means big stitches, so it does work up easily on the needles, and those big stitches make it ideal for beginners because you can really see what you're working with. The stitches that I chose for the Jolly Narwhal pattern were deliberately kept simple. So we've got knits, we've got pearls, we're taking them round rather than back and forth, so that's a new skill to learn, and occasionally beginners wonder about that and the complexity of that, but so many patterns nowadays are worked in the round on circular needles that if this is a skill that is really worth developing. Okay, so we've got knits, we've got pearls. We've got 1 cable cross in this pattern, and that's the mid cable here for the bottom of the narwhal. The pattern's both knitted and charted, so it will talk you through with written instructions or picture instructions if that is what you prefer. But there's only 1 real cable cross there. So if cable crossing is something you want to try, but you don't necessarily want a whole item that is full of cable crossing, this is a good pattern just to have a little taste of what cable crossing is. As you get up to the crown of the pattern, these look like cable crosses, but they're not. They're actually faux crossed slip stitch cables. Again, if you're a beginner, that might sound really complicated, but it's actually a really easy way to create the look of a cable without doing the complexity of removing a stitch from the needles. Don't worry about it, don't get stressed, don't let any of that put you off. This is a pattern designed for a quick, rewarding knit, completely aimed at beginners. And at the moment I've got it in 5 different colours. So your colour choices are Daisy, which is this lovely pink tone, Primula, which is a lovely pastel yellow, very popular with children. Whenever we get them coming to look at the yarn on the table, they really enjoy the Primula shade. Plum, which is a deeper purple, Straw, which is a lovely golden yellow, and Depths, which is the blue. I don't have the earth shade here at the moment, but if that is something that you're interested in, I will be able to produce more of that in a couple of weeks' time. So that is the Jolly Narwhal knitting kit, chunky merino yarn, retailing at £17 on the website. Okay. Moving on. Okay, so on my lovely model here, I've got the Cossack shawl kit. This has been designed by Clare, and Clare has put a lovely photo of herself on the front of the pattern, Clare Crouch. Clare is an accessories designer, and one of the things that she specialises in is drawing on those thoughts and the research of knitting being very good for well-being and mindfulness and an all-round kind of soothing, joyful and uplifting experience for knitters, and she's bringing those things together in her work. So it's something, she's a really interesting person to watch out for and find out more about if you're interested in taking your knitting experience to another level in that way. This knitting kit, the Cossack shawl knitting kit, retails for £55. For that you'll get an exclusive Loch Ness knitting tote bag. That's our logo on the front there. It's our lovely ball of yarn with our little Nessie on the front there. We don't sell these separately, you can only get these as part of a knitting kit, so they're exclusive. You get the needles required to make the shawl, you get a printed copy of the pattern, and you get the yarn required to complete the shawl pattern. And in this case, this is 3 skeins of DK double knit weight British Blueface Leicester yarn, and the 3 colours for this shawl kit are the straw, daisy and earth. Now this shawl kit is a really beautiful piece of work, again designed with beginners in mind. So from a distance and to the non-knitter it looks like it's complex, but actually what we've got is we've got garter stitch bands running through the project. We've got a little bit of moss stitch, which is just basically alternating between your knits and your pearls, but instead of making a rib you make a broken moss stitch pattern. We've got a garter stitch border there at the edge, and we've got increases to make the shawl shape. So again, if you're looking for something, if you're a beginner knitter, you're looking for something to improve your skills and you haven't done something with increases yet, a shawl pattern working back and forth is a great way for you to practice a decorative increase. And then we've got a beautiful wavy edge on the shawl here, giving it a lovely, delicate, feminine, a smart finish if you want to wear this with maybe some of your work outfits to stay warm in an office environment. And in the DK weight, this is the lighter weight shawl. So if you look on Ravelry, there are some people completing this in other colours, and I think one of the options I've seen is the pink being exchanged for the blue. So that is an option for you to look at if you want to see other projects and how other people have done this. Okay, quick set, excuse me. Okay, we're going to give our model a quick change here. There we go. As I do that, I'll just actually hold out the shawl so you can see the wingspan of this one, because shawl shapes are really interesting and some people wear and prefer some shawl shapes to others. I know I've got quite narrow shoulders, so I like this shawl shape where you get a little bit more fabric coming up over your shoulders. So that's the shawl shape here. I'm going to do a quick model change. I'll just hold up the shawl shape here, as we've got cats helping us with work today. Okay, so the shawl shape here. This is the Loch shawl, designed by Kate Whiting, and it's the triangle shape shawl. Let me just pop this on the model while we talk about it. So Kate is a designer who is really inspired by the Outlander books and TV series, much of which is filmed in the Highlands at various historical locations around the country. So we get lots of people visiting, reliving their Outlander experience, or just looking to connect with the heritage of this area, which is a really nice thing to do on a visit. Gives you a sense of purpose and direction when you're driving around the area, and really helps you to connect with some of the history here. So in this knitting kit, again, you get our exclusive Loch Ness knitting tote bag. So this is a cotton tote bag with the logo on it. You get the full printed pattern by Kate Whiting Designs. You get the needles required to complete the project. And you get 5 skeins of British Blue Face Leicester Aran weight yarn. And we've got the 3 colours here. We've got the earth colour, straw, and the depths of Loch Ness, which is the blue colour. Lovely. Again, in the Aran weight yarn, the size of this garment, don't let it put you off. In the Aran weight yarn, this is actually a quick knit. And again, with beginners in mind, Kate's concentrated on using simple stitches. So we've got a moss stitch here, which is just your knits and your pearls used to create some texture. We've got a stocking stitch band with a little bit of garter stitch in there to create the waves that we see on the Loch Ness, which is 5 minutes down the road. And we've got a garter stitch border, again with a little bit of the depths of Loch Ness yarn going through it for detail. So the skill that you might want to practice with this shawl, if you're looking to expand your skills, is the colour changing, working with the 3 different colours, and as Kate's done, working with the colours closely together in rows rather than in large bands. She's got beautiful edging and she's increased along the edges as well as along the centre line. So that's a skill that you could practice here. And mixing between stitch types within the band, so your stocking stitch, counting along 4 or 5 stitches and then doing a little bit of garter stitch. That's quite a good skill for you to build on and learn if you're a beginner knitter and you're going to move on to doing things like sweater patterns where you have to count doing 5 of something and then 4 of something, so you can create vertical columns of texture and pattern and design going through your garment. Okay. The Loch knitting kit with these 5 beautiful skins of Aran weight yarn retails for £85. Again, I've seen this done in different colour weights. Some people have exchanged the earth for all blue yarn or white, or I've seen it done in a pink. So look on Ravelry for ideas for switching up colours there, and just have a look at Kate's designs anyway, especially if you're an Outlander fan, because Kate has really taken the time to produce some beautiful pieces of work. So if you're interested in adding some heritage information to your visit, our small business shout out for today is Highland Historian. Check out Andrew's work if you're preparing for a visit and interested in Highland heritage. Thank you for watching today. Please do like, share and follow. And next week, the videos are going to be creative coffee breaks and chats with makers from all over Scotland. So please join us for that. Thank you.